The state we're in the moment powerfully impacts the meaning that we associate to something or that we assign to something. So one way to change what things mean to you is just change your darn state. If you're feeling great, do things just kind of bounce off you that normally if you're feeling upset? Would you change the way you look at them probably, change the way you feel about it? You bet. So we need to really still manage our state. And we talked about that a great deal last session. I want to make sure that that's part of your life's work. Because your life's work is really learning how to live in a way where you spend most of your time enjoying yourself, very little time in pain. Most of your time in pleasure, very little pain. And living your life hopefully in a way where not only do you feel good all the time, but the people around you feel good just by being around you. That because they're around you, they feel a lot less pain and a ton of pleasure. See, that's my idea of success. Success is when you learn to live your life in a way where you experience tons of pleasure every day and almost no pain. And simultaneously, where the way you live also causes the people around you to experience very little pain and tons of pleasure. Then you know you're really successful. Because if you feel good and nobody else does, you're a failure. Now, that doesn't mean you go around trying to make everybody feel good. Some people have an investment in feeling bad because they think feeling bad equals feeling good. Are there people that believe that, yes or no? Yeah, because they think if I feel bad, then people will notice me, or they'll love me more, or they'll help me more, or I'll get more attention, which means feeling good. People have weird crap they work inside their head about how to get to feeling good. Some people think I'm going to feel good when I make $1 billion. Some people are like, when I have this, this, and this, when I get married, have these many children, this and this, then I'll feel good. Some people have, well, I'll feel good if I feel bad because then people notice me and make me feel good. Or you could just like choose to feel good. Which one do you think might be a more intelligent approach? Because who's in control there? You are. You don't have to worry about the environment. By the way, when you're feeling good, it tends to make you want to feel even better. It makes you share good feelings with other people, which makes them feel good, which makes them reciprocate usually. Not always, but usually. Kind of nice. So the bottom line is we got to manage our state still. And as a reminder, as far as that's concerned, changing state means change the meaning. And the way you can do it is either by changing your what? Change your physiology. Physiology, again, means the way you move, the way you breathe, your facial expressions, your gestures. The way you use your body determines the way you feel. You got to remember that for the rest of your life. If you're not feeling the way you want to feel, first thing you can do is just change the way you're moving. Emotion is created by what? Motion. Emotion is created by motion. You have 50 muscles in your face. A slight change in any of these muscles will radically change the way you feel. Remember we did this last time, I think. What I'd like you to do right now, real quick, is create some tension in your body, some tension, then put a big, huge smile on your face while you're doing it and notice how it feels. How many feel somewhat excited when you feel this? Let me see your hands. You know why? Excitement has tension in it. The only difference is you send a different biochemistry into your body. You fire off different biochemicals when you make a smile. Physically, it changes. You want to get depressed? What do? Drop your shoulders, look down, breathe shallow, drool. Right? Change the way you move. Some people have limited emotions because they have limited motion. They're trying to express their feelings and they go, I have something important I want to share with you. Hear me. Feel me. I am man. Feel this? Versus, listen to me. Come on, let's make this happen. Let's do this. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? The more emotion you have, the more emotion you have. And there's certain emotions you're not feeling because you're not making certain movements happen in your face. You want to change that. You want to go for more. See, did I mention to you last time, did we talk about how certain people live together for a long time begin to look like each other? Did I mention it? You remember why? Because in order to be in rapport, we like people who are like us. So we mirror back similar facial expressions. We do it enough, we literally mold our muscles to be in that way. We use those kinds of emotions on an ongoing basis. A lot of people look like their dog. I don't have the explanation for that one. I don't know if they're mirroring in that case, right? Maybe they're trying to pick somebody like it, right? But see, the thing we got to realize is we got to control our physiology. So throughout this day, as last time, I want you to remember to live at level 10. You remember what that means? Living at level 10 means what you got to do is ask yourself on a scale from 0 to 10, where's my level of energy? 0 is dead, 10 is unstoppable. Which level is going to allow you to get more out of this weekend? Which one? 10, without a doubt. If nothing else happens from you coming to these fortune programs, but every time you get here, you demand from yourself for 4 days to live at level 10. You think you might develop a little stronger emotional muscle, yes or no? And pretty soon what used to be hard to do, like demanding 10, is the way you live. It's easy. It's like you can live that way easy, no problem. And now you go home and you live at that level. Does that impact your patients? Yes or no? Does that impact each other in the office? Yes or no? Does it impact your home life? Does that impact those ecstasy ideas we had about the relationship at home? Yes. See, if you're level 10 every time with your personal relationship, would that enhance it? Yes or no? So how do you determine whether you're at 10 or not? You decide to go there, and the way you decide to go there is you got to ask yourself on a regular basis, where am I? See, I found the more you measure something, the better it gets. But if you don't measure it, you're not going to do well. If you set a goal on New Year's Eve, and then you check next New Year's, you're in trouble. Because you had one correction. It was at the end of the year, and it was too late. Once a month, you got a better chance. Once a week, you can really have it. Once a day, you won't have a bad year, you won't have a bad month, the worst you have is a bad day. The more we measure, the better we get. So what we've got to do is ask ourselves, where are we on a scale from 0 to 10? Where are you right now on a scale from 0 to 10? Sit right now like you would if you were at level 10. Okay, that's clear, you weren't at 10 then, isn't it? Come on, sit the way you'd be at level 10. I mean, absolutely, totally energized, excited, having fun, being outrageous, playful. Sit the way you'd be sitting right now if you're at level 10. Come on. And oh, you're not at 10. Come on. Come on, this is not 10. Let me see 10 here. Come on, even more energy. Come on. Most of you would probably have to make some noise or do something with your body to get to level 10. Come on, wake your body up. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, wake your body up. Come on. Come on.
And I want to ask you a question. What is the focus of your life? What is the focus of your life? In life, you have a critical option. You can take a stand in your life, or you can follow the crowd. See, people who follow the crowd, their lives are not focused. They're not immersed in anything. People who take a stand, they're living a life that has some power, a life of achievement, a life that has some meaning. People that are taking a stand in life, they are consciously involved in a process to design a life of substance. People who are following the crowd, these are people that they're just doing what everybody else is doing. So that's a crowded road over there. They're following the followers. I want to talk to you about taking a stand with your life. And what are some of the things we can do that will enable us to give our lives up in a way that has some purpose and meaning, that can be real for us, that can give us a sense of fulfillment, of joy and happiness and peace of mind. I mean, you got to be aware of these faces. They affect you, you know. Try to stay around pleasant faces, and if you have an unpleasant face, try and smile more. It's good for your health. And there's another dividend, you look better too. So looking for a way in which we can begin to give our lives some special power. Number one, commit yourself to giving your best at all times. So now more than ever, it's about increased productivity. Now more than ever, it's about superior quality service. Now more than ever, it's about creating a positive atmosphere in the workplace, and people that have that competitive age, people that are hungry to make it. So you got to be hungry now. You can't just casually walk around, well, I'll get to it later on. Oh, no, this is a new day right now. Committing yourself to give your best at all times, regardless of the competition to do otherwise, or the influences of negative people that will tell you, hey, look here, don't push yourself too much. Now's the time to push yourself, to always get in the habit of giving the best that you have to share.
Keep learning. When you cease to learn, you cease to grow. When you cease to learn, you sort of begin to decay a little bit. You are to learn how to stay healthy. And you say, well, how do I do that? Well, the proper diet and exercise and rest, that's part of it. In other words, we're not healthy by accident. It's by learning some key things in life that really make a difference. And when we keep learning, something happens in our life. For example, you and I are living in an age when we've had to keep learning. Because when I was born, there were no computers that I knew of in 1932. So we go back, And you look at your life and think about all the things that you've had to learn that your predecessors and your parents didn't have to learn because they didn't even exist. So if you're going to be useful all the days of your life, you've got to be willing to keep learning. So I would simply say that a lazy brain is an aging brain. You don't want to learn, what happens? You start decaying. And so there's something interesting and exciting about learning things in life, no matter who you are and no matter what your age is. Might be.
It's fine if you're still upset and discouraged. I'm still discouraged each day. I still feel doubt each day. I still feel stress and overwhelm. Those feelings spark up, but feelings don't have to own you. Feelings don't have to stop you. Listen, my friends, feelings are signals. Feelings are signals to explore something, to gut check something, to act on something. But those signals don't have to be the thing driving the car. You can say, you know what, I feel doubt and I'm still gonna take a step here. You can say, you know what, I feel discouraged today, so I'm still gonna cheer somebody on social media or text. You can still move forward even when you don't feel perfect. And I think that's one thing right now is so many people, they're like, I don't feel perfect. And so they're just so discouraged. I'm not as confident as I used to be. I'm not as motivated as I used to be, Brendan. I'm like, yeah, because you know what? There's a lot going on right now. There's more on your shoulders right now. There's just more on our shoulders right now. And when there's more on our shoulders right now, sometimes that can dampen down. Like if your energy is like this, it can just knock it down a little bit because it's more weight, right? There's weight of the world on you. There's weight of the economy. There's weight of your family and the expectations of the people around you. And so if you're usually up here and you feel a little lower right now, that's okay. That means it's really important for you to really focus on your good habits. Because if you're usually up here, and the weight of the world is on you now, tamping you down, and you give up your positive habits, but bam, you're in trouble. So listen, you can feel the feelings. Those are signals. You can allow everything right now. But the question is feeling and allowing going to prevent positive movement forward? And I'm like, no. I'm like, yes, feel the discouragement and allow it, but then explore it. Why do I feel discouraged? Oh, that's why I feel discouraged. Now, what would I like to do with that discouragement? Do I just want to sit with it here, which is okay? Do I want to feel it, explore it, just observe it, let it pass through? Do I want to check it? Do I want to challenge it? Do I want to see what this is about? Do I want to explore it logically too? All those are good options. So please hear me. I'm not the person saying there's no good options. I'm not saying there's a right way for you to cope or feel your feelings. Your feelings are your own. You never have to explain your feelings except to yourself. And you're the only ones who know whether or not emotions are enabling a detachment from life or an engagement with life. Whether your emotions are cheating you from feeling the full expression of your purpose. Because listen, I'm not here to say that any emotions are good or bad in themselves. You can feel them and sense them. But could any person who's ever coached somebody or any person who's had any experience in psychology say, you know, there are good habits and there are habits that lead to not positive things? I think we can all recognize that, listen, coping by eating 40 gallons of ice cream for 2 months, probably not a good coping mechanism. We should be fine and free to hold ourselves to a standard to say, I recognize this, I've gone a little too far in my coping, right? Let's all be honest with ourselves. Listen, I'm ultimately a coach. And as a coach, I've always got to encourage people to hold themselves to high standards and be honest, to be honest about their own behavior. Either your behavior is supporting you in your coping right now, either your behavior is supporting you on how you're assisting people, or your behavior right now is not.